and welcome to the More Than Roommates podcast. I'm Dan, here with my roommate, Graham. Graham, how are you doing?
I am hanging in there,
Yeah.
roomie.
Yeah.
It's been a busy week. I'm pretty sure I get on here every quarter and I'm like, oh, woe is me. I'm an accountant to financial analyst, so it's been tough, but
Yeah, Graham
getting through it.
Graham has been in his cave for the past
days.
week.
Yeah.
But, we got out, we went to the gym, we're feeling good.
Yeah, we've eaten pretty healthy. We're sticking to the diet for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
We did have to take a little trip over to Culver's.
Oh my gosh,
but
and their pretzel bites.
I was so done yesterday. I was like, I'm not eating bland rice one more.
Right. Yeah, you gotta change it up. That's what life is about. So we just had the 4th of July. We were going to dress up and do all that. I've got some
friends. Yeah, they have like an annual kind of like fireworks 4th of July party. But
yeah, I had these pants already, but kind of
they look good, by the way.
Oh, I meant my 4th of July pants. I didn't even get those.
These look
out.
Good too.
Okay,
yeah.
I
thought you were wanting. They're brand new, so I thought he was ready to like rock out in them.
Yeah, if you're watching, this is my first pair of non-skinny jeans.
In how many years?
Oh my gosh!
For me, it's been like a decade, probably.
For sure. Yes, anyone above a Gen Z, this is your sign. Go out and throw out your skinny jeans. Don't throw them away. Donate them. But it is a new era, and I will say these feel exactly like the jeans felt like when I was a kid.
I feel.
Yes, you may.
Feels like the 90s.
It does. So my old jeans were very like the elasticy material, and I feel like
I like the stretch though. You mean the stretch?
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I did it because it felt like they kind of wore out. I felt they were very baggy as far as skinny jeans. So I like these. These feel sturdier. They're just super comfy. And they're just baggy. I feel loose. I feel free.
Yeah. Tell me about your thrift find, though.
Okay, this is my first time repeating this outfit I've worn. This was like episode 2. So I'm an outfit repeater. But yes, I found this at a thrift store. And I'm not very like...
I love that shirt so much. Did I find it first or did you?
I found it and I almost didn't get it.
I tried it on first and I didn't like the fit on
I can't give you that credit. No, I think this is me. I did it all. So,
anyway, yeah.
4th of July, we were feeling peppy, and then the Supreme Court decided to rain on our parade. And
Pride Month.
Yeah, I mean, we were all like top of the gays. We were Pride Month, just got over that. And then the Supreme Court said, stop the presses. Pride Month is over.
Before it was even over, I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't it on the 30th or something? I don't know.
They said,
we'll have to fact
we're going to rain on your parade. So if you've been living under a rock, because of this podcast and this platform that we're trying to build, I feel like it would be inappropriate to not discuss this because this is a major event. And if you aren't paying attention, you need to be. So the Supreme Court ruled about this case where this Christian web designer felt like she did not need to make websites specifically for gay weddings. So I've done some research. I'm pulling out my reporter brain. So Lori Smith, it was decided that she has a First Amendment right to refuse to design wedding websites for same-sex couples, despite the state's law barring discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation, among others.
Nice. So, I mean, if we lived it was in Colorado, right? But it went to the Supreme Court for hearing.
Yeah.
So, but still though, like it's things like this that can have a huge impact, on our lives. And
it's definitely a sad day because
you're opening the door for more discrimination. I mean, it's discrimination.
It is whether your beliefs or not. It's like if you have a public business and these people aren't doing anything wrong. I mean, like, what's the next thing that if you don't like the religion that they are, so I'm not going to. It's just it's such a slippery slope, and so I will clarify because I did some research, and the law, from my understanding, please, I encourage you all to do your own research too, but she cannot, like, say Graham and I wanted to hire this person to design a website. she cannot refuse the service. She still has to design the website. She just doesn't have to make it a gay website, if that makes sense. I know, it's still confusing.
Yeah.
So she can't refuse service. She has to make us a website, but she doesn't. And so the way that she kind of loopholed this was that, sorry if you're hearing banging or still getting the fireworks, but anyway, the 4th of July is over when we're recording this. So she was more saying it was based off of her job, that it was more of a creative outlet, that is her freedom. So like photography and stuff like that. Like that was kind of the loophole. It's very confusing. The other thing that was confusing is so this hasn't happened. It wasn't like a gay couple was trying to get a website and then she refused it, and then there's a lawsuit that made it all the way up to the Supreme Court.
It was preempted, right?
Which doesn't happen. The Supreme Court can't make decisions on things that haven't happened. So she had to prove that it affected, there was harm done.
Yeah.
And I don't know how she was able to prove that, but it's crazy. And
I guess religious beliefs. I mean,
yeah, where's the separation of church and state? That's my thing.
Yeah.
Where's the separation? We've always said that, and
it never works out that way, does it?
And the other thing, to counteract anyone's argument out there who will say that this was a one-off and, oh my gosh, it's just one crazy, blah, blah, blah. The person who was representing this woman also represented the people that, I don't know if you remember years ago, the person who didn't want to bake a wedding cake for a gay couple. The same attorney the same attorney that represented her represented Lori.
So she's in a very specific niche of law.
And she's part of a group that is trying to implement this. So there are people out there who are
in powerful positions, mind you.
That are obviously, I mean, they've got 6 people on the Supreme Court that... So I don't know. I mean, this goes back to things we've mentioned in previous episodes that, you know, everyone's like, oh, 2023, you're fine. You're not. I mean, I will say that we are so much better off than we would have been 10, 20 years ago. But with all the drag bans and just, I mean, this is just transgender issues. Like,
oh yeah, there's been a lot of legislation this year harming our transgender friends and community too. So it's been a really rough year.
And
honestly.
I saw a TikTok where they were interviewing a popular drag queen, and you know, she was just going off, and she was just like, you know, the people that are against it, you know, they have this all these commercials and all these legislations written about, you know, oh, don't let drags. Where has the crime been committed? Like, name one example where a drag queen has done something horrendous at a drag reading, like, or at a drag show. Like, they've come up with this platform, but there hasn't been an exact example.
It's just that they want to make someone a villain, and it's easy to pick on people
in a minority group. And it's like a misunderstood group. And I get that. But it's like, how do they get on these news networks and stuff and have this, like, this is their platform. They're running off to, you know, ban drag shows. But like, where's the evidence? Like, where's the, like, okay, well, the other was that one time, you know, like,
it's,
and even if it was one
art,
time,
it's culture, entertainment. I mean, there's no harm being done, as you said. It just absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. And so let me ask you, you know, after hearing about this new law or decision, like, how does this make you feel? Like, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's a little scary. Like I started to mention it. I feel like it's a way to open a door, and we're just going back in time. You know? I mean, if the same group of people had it their way, they would keep putting more and more laws in place. You know what I mean? To, you know, marginalize us further, I think. It's kind of an odd time for sure, but
yeah,
what about you?
It's just sad to see that there are still people with such a grudge that are just like spending the time to come up with these scenarios, and it's just, I don't know. this is the most out I've ever been. This is the most like true to self. And before, when I would say like gay stuff came up, like I tried to remove myself from it. But
Same,
I've
yeah.
never been so like personally like impacted. Like I feel like it's an attack on us. Like we're just trying to live our lives. We're just trying to have
Yeah.
a podcast, make people laugh. And now I have to worry that like, okay, if we want to go get an engagement photo shoot, that we have to worry that it couldn't happen.
Yeah.
Like someone legally could be like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, what? It's just crazy. Land of the free.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna go as far to say like, oh, I hate America.
Oh,
No.
yeah,
We
no.
I understand we have it a lot better here than a lot of places, but that doesn't
For
mean
sure.
that we should just be like, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done fighting.
It's just like anything in life.
Mhm.
You gotta strive to become better. You gotta figure out where are your problems and how do we remedy those problems,
Yeah.
There- I feel like the back and forth attacks on communities are just further dividing people in general, which I think is like the worst case scenario. You know what I mean? Because you get people really charged up on both sides
Mhm.
and people are ready to go at it, start throwing fisticuffs. Man, I can't talk tonight.
And you're good. It's crazy though that this is all happening in the day and age where information is so easily accessible and people can know anything you want to know.
We have a whole episode about that with our AI, like
Mhm.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And we've had Google for decades now too. So
And just people, I don't know, just still choose to like turn a blind eye. And I cannot get over the non-separation of church and state. Like it has never been like, it's never been a separation. We say the Pledge of Allegiance. You swear on a Bible in the court. Like, I am just so tired of that. Like, believe what you want. And I would like us to do an episode about religion in the future, but
I was gonna say you're talking to a Catholic guy right here,
Mhm.
so
yeah, and I don't care what you
Grew
believe.
up.
Like you believe, there's that rant of that woman on the news that was like, I don't care what you believe. It shouldn't affect our laws and how
Right.
our government operates. Like,
yeah,
and I know it's never been a separation. So I guess that's where my frustration.
you can have your belief, and if it's a bigoted, crappy belief, go home and hide. You know what I mean? Go take those thoughts with you. You don't need to bring it out
Into the government.
To the government. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Sorry guys, I was getting a little amped up, but yeah, that was just my thoughts. So I guess like always, stay informed, go out and vote, spread
Make
awareness.
sure you're registered to
Yeah.
vote too. I mean, this whole crap show's about to start up with next year's election again soon too.
Yeah.
So
And so I will link in the bio any articles or any petitions or anything that I think would benefit anyone's knowledge, but just do your own research and then just, advocate, if you believe. I don't know. But
yeah.
that was it. Yeah.
I was just gonna say too, on the whole topic of religion and everything, I think it'll be really interesting over the next 15 to 20 years to just see because there's already been a decline in, like church attendance and people that, have faith from what I've read.
Mhm.
So I feel like the younger generations are really pushing for equality.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just all in due
Oh,
time.
Gen Z. I
And-
love
yeah.
Gen Z. Everyone, the younger generation, they're so cool. They're so chill. They don't care. And that's speaking in broad terms, but
Right, yeah.
there is a point too that you have to care enough to vote and be politically involved. If you care too little, then but I also think they're more politically charged than millennials.
Oh, for
Millennials
sure.
really dropped the boat. Or
I
dropped
feel
the
like
ball.
we just kind of copied our parents.
Mhm.
Whatever our parents said to do, that was kind of what we were kind of on the cusp. Our generation of, obviously, again, this is a blanket
Yeah.
statement. You're always going to have people that go against the grain.
Yeah.
But I felt like in general, most people I knew growing up in the Midwest, had
Just-
very similar beliefs.
Yeah.
And it's interesting seeing that change over time too, because I have a lot of people I knew how they thought, 15 years ago, and it's completely different now, myself included.
Yeah.
But
And I will
just
say that
learning
goes
and growing.
that goes
But
back into the Gen Z having information at their fingertips. They are able to form their own opinions than their parents because when we were kids, we didn't have the computer access
I
that
did.
well, I
But-
didn't. We had
but-
one computer and I had to wait my turn. But even
you
that
have Windows 95, 98, any of that?
we did, but
Yeah,
I didn't.
AOL.
My parents hated when I was on the computer. They're
Oh,
always
yeah.
like, "You're gonna download a virus."
Yeah.
So
Oh man, Mom, if you're listening, I'm really sorry about that family PC. I know you cleaned it up a trillion times for me and my brother, so thank you.
Also, I'm the youngest of three, so by the time
yeah.
I don't know, I never got computer time. But kids have it on their phone; they don't have to get on the company or the family computer. So
we had Cha Cha. I don't know if you remember Cha Cha.
I've heard of that. Isn't that a Google search thing?
No, it was a phone number.
Oh,
you
to
could text.
Well,
you could have a question. Oh, you know.
I didn't have a phone. I was trying to struggle last. I had an iPod Touch.
Let me pour one out.
I know. I had an iPod Touch, and I thought it was so cool because I would
Yeah.
always learn the school Wi-Fi password, and they would change it every month, and I would like search
every month.
Yeah, because everyone would find it, and then they'd have to
bogging
change
it down.
Yeah. Good times. So shifting a little more lighthearted.
Yeah. Probably for the best.
Meta, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg himself announced that they are having a new social media platform. Dun, dun, dun. It's to compete with Twitter. It's called Thread. And I was just getting on Twitter or on Instagram before we started, and everyone's already made accounts on Thread because it's all commingled now
with Meta.
So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I got on Twitter, probably like 2009 or 2010 or something around there, and I don't really use it anymore. I used it for a long time, probably up until about the time we met.
Yeah,
honestly, but I don't know. It's kind of like it gives off like, I don't know if you've heard of Zynga or any of, like blog websites. We used to blog, my generation when we were like, in our tweens and teens, we would go write like a whole, story about what we did or whatever, and our friends could like and comment on it. I get like that kind of vibe, but in like, what is it, 40 characters or less, or 50?
250.
250. Oh, yeah.
And 500 if you pay.
Oh.
Give me I want to just make sure we're still recording. Okay, sorry. We were bringing the energy, and I was just hate if it wasn't recorded. But yeah, if you pay, you can get more, and you can edit tweets.
So if you don't pay, can you read a 500 character thread? What are they going to call it? So Twitter or tweets, what are they going to call?
Threads.
Okay.
I will say, and I'm going to get my nerd cave because I do this for a living. I hate Twitter. Awful. You get zero interaction, and Elon Musk said recently that unless you're paying, they're going to like limit the amount of people that it'll send your tweet to.
Really?
And I'm like, I'm over this.
I've read so much about that man, and he works his staff like,
yeah, awful.
Oof.
And so
that's probably part of the reason maybe I just stopped using it.
Well, it's not
just like I never get any engagement. Like, what's the point? I get like one friend that will like my tweet about Jennifer Connelly and her,
And I just don't understand the use of it. Like, why would you use that platform over others? Like, as someone who has to like, I make content for all the platforms, and it takes me a good 30 minutes to convert what I just posted on Facebook to Twitter because I have to strip it down, and it can only add 4 photos, and yikes. I recently looked into getting verified on Twitter for a company, and I don't know how they got like this went under the radar. Like, I remember when it was announced that you were gonna have to pay, it was gonna be $8 a month. It's now $1,000 a month if you're a business entity.
Wow.
Who can do that?
And think about like public entities and stuff too. You know what I mean? Like the government probably wants an account, to get
There's
information.
a different category for government. I know.
Well, But what about public? Is it just private?
Nonprofits are $1,000.
Really?
I
Wow.
know.
That is trash.
I know. That's why I've been ready
Oof.
to drop Twitter. So I'm excited for Threads. If anyone out there wants to listen to my words, jump on it now. I regret not jumping on TikTok. I regret not jumping on everything. I went to a lot of creative workshops, and everyone's advice was to embrace the new. Everyone's like, oh, TikTok, that's just for kids dancing. That's not going to happen.
Yep.
And especially if it's already meta, they've got the foundation, it's going to be a thing. So follow
yeah,
us.
they're intertwined. Yeah.
Thread us at More Than Roommates. By the time this is out, I will have already made us an account. It'll be linked. Go to More Than Roommates Threads. I haven't done it yet, so I don't know what it's like, but find us there. We'll be the first to hit 1 million threads.
Yeah. So, Dan, tell me, how do we think we want to use it? Do we want to, like, I don't know, if they're just.
I'm
like,
definitely going to
characters.
repost all my content that we post here on there and see how it. I don't know. It's uncharted territory, so I think this is the mad dash to see what sticks.
Yeah.
Is it going to be videos? Is it going to be just funny meme posts? Or
because they're honestly, I'm sorry, I'm going back to like just Meta in general. They're really like putting out products to compete with every other platform at this point too, like Instagram Reels. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you say that's like a very close competitor to TikTok? Or no?
Correct.
Yeah.
Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts are, but Meta is Instagram Reels.
Right, I know.
They have that
That's
market.
what I'm saying. They're competing with TikTok, and now they're going to compete with Twitter. And
right. Zuckerberg's plan is to take down Twitter. So I'm for it. I don't necessarily like Zuckerberg, but I'm down to take it down Twitter because it's an awful platform.
Pepper stressed you on when you said
I
Zuckerberg.
know. Pepper said no. But I also don't know how many characters you can put in a thread or how it works. So give me some time. I'll give you guys an update. But in the meantime, make an account, follow us.
We better go make that tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I'll do
Before someone takes it.
Oh my gosh. I'm watching you guys. Someone already took us on Instagram. More Than Roommates Pod on Instagram. Find us there.
Yeah.
We're getting that. We're getting that up and going. But I'm excited. I love new stuff. I love trying new things. We just had a TikTok go semi-viral, guys. If you're not following us there, we did the we did the grimace shake. That was like the most I've committed to a bit in a long time. Like I made a fool of myself in many ways, but
it was fun to film.
Yeah, it was. I did that stuff.
The scenes are awesome.
I was in video production in high school. I used to always do that. But it's up to 15,000 views on TikTok. So go check us out there. But
15K.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And the Grimace Shake is having a resurgence on YouTube. It's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look, we just went up.
Yeah. So while we're on this note, I do want to thank you guys. This has been an amazing past 6 months, amazing past month. It's just been
we're
fun.
Trying to find our groove, I feel like we're starting to get there,
Yeah. So
I just appreciate schedule, maybe.
I appreciate all the support and keep the kind words coming. Haters are gonna hate. Haters gonna hate.
Haters back off.
Haters back off.
We can't.
No. But I did see a post that I've been like, those like inspirational things, but it's like you have to climb Cringe Mountain to get on top. And it's like when you're posting stuff and it's not doing well, we're in Cringe Mountain, but once we get up there, and then I wouldn't even say this is Cringe Mountain. I'm having a blast recording with you.
Right.
But it's just like, sometimes I get in my head and I'm like, why are we doing this? We're putting ourselves out there. It's scary, but I just it's been fun. So I wanted to end with a fun, lighthearted story. I used to work in news. And the number one thing people always ask when they find out that I was a news reporter, I was on TV, they always ask if I had any epic news bloopers or like I messed up on air. And
I can think of not a mess up, but I can think of a couple right off the top of my head.
What are you thinking of?
You were getting so frustrated trying to film in front of a post office, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And you had it and you started recording again, and then like this crummy old truck. Like the power steering was like whirring really loud, and they like cranked it in the parking lot, and Dan just like.
I have that video.
That's how I remember. That's how I think of it in my head. I don't know if you actually like.
I thought someone, because when I was getting ready for live shots, of course there'd be some kids in the background that would be like, you know. I thought someone was messing with me. The way the tire was screeching, I thought someone was purposely going.
Yeah.
And so I whip around and I'm like, am I being punked?
Yeah.
So that one was a good one.
Dr. Voica says the important takeaways from 3-2. 3-2.
Well,
I would definitely say my funnier on-air blunders is, so you know, like on the news there are words that appear. Oh, sorry, Pepper's having a moment. So you know there are words that appear at the bottom of the screen, you know, like man stabbed, blah blah blah, and I, as the reporter, would type what appears there. And you're in a program that doesn't have spell check. Oh. I am a horrible speller. Combination, not good. And I was on
confirm.
Yeah. I picked the wrong line of work. I was on the morning shift, so I got in at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Ooh.
Not a good time to be typing words that'll be on TV.
My brain would not function at that time. Although I've worked that late before.
Yeah.
That was consecutive.
Yeah. So I am doing a lighthearted story about a food pantry.
Ooh.
So nice. Send us your donations. So I type on the screen to fill the pantry. You know,
you thought you did.
I thought I did. I do a live hit. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go sit in my car for the next live hit. I get a frantic call from one of my coworkers, and he's like, you just said fill, or I didn't say I wrote, it said fill the panty on TV. I wish I would have saved it, but back when I was a young reporter and I thought I was going to make something of myself, if there was ever a blunder, I was too afraid to save it because I was worried it would like get out there. So I didn't save it, but it definitely said fill the panty. So I quickly get on my laptop and I'm like, delete it and then rewrite it.
How many people saw it?
I mean, it was 5 a.m, so like 2.
You'd be surprised.
I know.
People like my dad. You know?
Oh my gosh. The other one, I just remembered this one. I was at a lake.
Have you told me this one?
I probably have.
Okay, yeah.
I was at a restaurant on a lake, and I was interviewing someone, the manager of the restaurant, and in the background, I didn't catch this, it went on air. Someone was wearing a neon green hunting shirt, and it was a shirt to, like, it's so bright and luminescent that you don't get shot while you're hunting. And on the shirt, it said, "Can you effing see me now?" And I didn't catch that, and it went on there. So everyone in town screenshotted it, and they're like, "Yeah, we can see you now on TV." Dang. I'm like, "No!" I was freaking out. We all went out to get drinks afterwards, and I was just like, you know, had the drink, and I'm just like, oh no, this is it for me.
Can you believe how much stress you had for like barely any money?
Right.
Like, that is a lot of stress. That's insane.
I know. There's a lot of weight on your shoulders for $10 an hour.
Yeah, that's
must say
insane.
But
this is probably about all you're gonna get for my on-air blunder.
Yeah, you were in the background of a lot.
Oh, true. Yeah, I did. That was fun. Yeah. Those are really fun times.
It was
actually riding around with you, like being your cameraman, sort of. Not really, just kind of being your muscle.
Yeah.
I was your lookout.
It was definitely fun and exhilarating for the live show. Maybe we'll do a live podcast once we have people that will tune in. But
yeah.
I think that'll do it. We talked about a lot. Stay informed, stay in vote, stay
registered,
subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you next week.